Clouds polka.
E all the way? Okay. Which is an A chord, right?
Okay, Stormy Clouds. Start on attack. First chord A.
Your words. All right. 1, 2.
Stormy Clouds. Thank you, Dan. Thank you, Richie Porch, for jumping in with us. Very nice. Okay, at this time, we're going to, the largest concertina jam east of the Mississippi is going to take a couple of minutes to recognize a few people. And we're going to turn the mic back over to Junior, who will take us through.
All right, folks, if we can have your attention here to the bandstand, though. Over the last couple of years, Eddie Blazonczyk has been a local spokesperson here for the World Concertina Club. And he has a lot of important messages for all the members of the band as well. If you could please focus your attention to the center here. Folks, I did pass around some of these pamphlets and flyers on the tables, and there's a lot of information available about the World Concertina Congress But their mission is to preserve and to evolve the awareness of this instrument and to keep it alive. If you're all having a good time here at the Concertina Jam, it's because of organizations like the World Concertina Congress. With that, you can also join and be a member. You don't have to be a musician, you don't have to play a concertina. You can just be a booster and a fan of concertina music. There's applications on the tables and we have some at the entrance. It's only $10 for an entire year's membership. So if you'd like to be so generous as to join and just be a booster for the World Concertina Congress, it's much appreciated. If you go to their website and visit the World Concertina Congress, there's a ton of music available out there for concertina players. There's the history of the concertina. There's information about the different manufacturers and tuners, and just so much history there, so much knowledge. I'd like to direct you, if you have a computer, laptop, and who doesn't, go on the internet and look up the World Concertina Congress. Take one of these pamphlets home with you today. And as I said, if you would, consider being a booster. If you're a musician, consider just being a member. It's only $10 for a year. That's just pennies a day. Just pennies a day. I might keep a wayward concertina player out of a bar room somewhere just because of your little donation. So think about that, and thank you for being here today. And with that, I'm going to bring up a representative here of the World Concertina Congress, Mr. Ken Yagelski. Please put your hands together, ladies and gentlemen, for Ken. Ken traveled all the way from Virginia to be here with us today. So how about a hand for Ken Yagelski of the World Concertina Congress.
Thanks, Eddie. Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Glad you're here. Eddie, thank you for promoting the World Concertina Congress. For those of you not familiar with it, it was formed by a group of musicians many years ago, really just to recognize the importance of the Chemnitzer Concertina in our music that we enjoy and play. It started with a handful of musicians, and it's grown over the years to include thousands of musicians and enthusiasts from around the world. The purpose of the World Concertina Congress is to honor and commemorate the people who contributed their life towards the production, preservation, and promotion of the Chemnitzer Concertina. And they've created a Hall of Fame, and it's not a place, it's not a location, but it's a collective idea by which the instruments musicians can honor their peers and their friends. The Hall of Fame is really special because it's not just honoring those who've made the most recordings or who played the most gigs. It doesn't necessarily honor just those that are the best musicians. It's, again, really about the reason for the World Concertina Congress. Yeah, sure.
Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, if we could please have your attention, all the way in the back by the bar. We are very lucky to have a representative here from the World Concertina Congress, Mr. Ken Yagelski. He's going to be doing some great things today for some people that are very well deserving of this. And we would ask you all to please be polite, and that's a very nice way of saying please be quiet. He's trying to do a presentation here. So if you could please focus your attention to the bandstand, and if there really is something very important that you need to speak, please exit the hall for just a moment or so. So Ken, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but go ahead, right ahead.
That's right. Thank you very much. So we'll get through this pretty quick. Again, I just wanted to emphasize that the Hall of Fame is not just simply about the very best musicians, but it's those that have contributed their life towards the perpetuating the instrument and the music that we love. So oftentimes it represents just the common man, the common musician, and we're very proud of that fact. So the World Concertina Congress and Polka Fireworks share something very in common. They both are celebrating their 50th anniversary this year. And I can't think of a better way to recognize and celebrate the 50th anniversary of these organizations than to recognize three special musicians. And we're going to do that today with their induction into the Hall of Fame. So the first is going to be Jack Beachley.
Hey, Jack!
So a couple of quick comments about Jack. For those not familiar with him, multiple Grammy-nominated performer, formally educated in music and an expert on many instruments, including the trumpet and bass guitar, but we all love him for his mastery of the concertina. He's been publicly performing with bands since the age of 11, learned how to play the instrument on his own by watching many of the best musicians, and used that experience to develop a unique playing style that's all his own. He's performed now for almost 40 years, and these performances have earned him accolades from music lovers across the country and organizations like the International Polka Association and the United States Polka Association. So not just a great musician, but Jack's helped many younger musicians become better through lessons or simply taking time during breaks from his own performances to answer questions and to share his knowledge. Always goes out of his way to help other musicians at any level better themselves. He's devoted his life to music, and his love for the concertina is very evident, and we're thrilled today to present Jack with his World Concertina Congress Hall of Fame certificate.
Hey, everybody. It's such an honor to receive this nomination into the Hall of Fame Concertina Congress, especially the 50th year, and with such other great musicians and concertina players going in at the time. And I started playing concertina when I was 8 years old. I've always been interested in the instrument. So my dad went one night, drove up to Buffalo, got me a concertina, came home, and the rest is history, from playing nonstop with all the different bands and enjoy playing it out in public and for everybody to enjoy and listen to. I thank everybody, and thank you for inducting me to the Hall of Fame. It really means a lot.
Okay, Eddie Blazonczyk Jr. Everybody knows Eddie. He was inspired to play music by his family, primarily his Hall of Fame father, Eddie Blazonczyk Sr. He began learning how to play the concertina at age 12 with lessons from the famous Frank Barrett Sr. and later worked with Dave Brzezinski, both very well known and respected concertina musicians and also members of the World Concertina Congress Hall of Fame. In his early teens, Ed performed with several Chicago area bands before joining his father's band, the Versatones, in 1989. He remained with the Versatones for the next 23 years, and by the time the band retired in 2011, Ed had logged more than 3,000 performances in 10 different countries. Ed's composition Squeeze Box was recognized by the IPA as the favorite song of the year in 2005, and he was named the favorite concertina player by the United Polka Association in 1994. Besides his many professional achievements, Ed's made efforts to promote and preserve the concertina and the Polish style music that it makes. He's hosted and remains active in this very event itself, the Litwin Concertina Jam, and he's an active member in the Cicero Concertina Circle and the World Concertina Congress. He's always very proud to serve as an ambassador for the Chemnitzer Concertina, and we're very proud to induct him into the World Concertina Congress Hall of Fame.
Well, I want to say thank you, and what a great honor it is to be amongst all of the great concertina players. When you go on that website to the World Concertina Congress, there's a listing there of all the Hall of Famers, and just to be amongst them and have my name amongst them is a great honor. It's very humbling to me because those guys, they're the best of the best. So I just want to say thank you. Of course, I want to say thank you to my dad, because without his influence, and truthfully, the reason I even got interested in the concertina was because my brother was interested in the concertina before me. My dad was taking him to lessons, and I was dragged along. And so then I developed an interest in the instrument as well. And then, again, all these years of playing, I greatly appreciate this. So I just want to say thank you to my dad, my brother, to the World Concertina Congress, and to everyone for this. Thank you.
Okay, for this last presentation, would Tish Blazonczyk please join me? Eddie mentioned his dad, and this is special recognition for Eddie Sr. So many of you might be familiar, back in 1958, Eddie was actually involved in the pop music field as a songwriter and recording artist for Mercury Records. But I'd like to think in 1963 he saw the light and rededicated himself to the Polish music of his heritage, performing the Versatone Band. He worked to create a new polka sound that incorporated the more raucous approach of the much admired Little Wally and with the polished style of the influential vocalist Marion Lush. For Eddie, this new polka sound always included a prominently featured Chemnitzer concertina. While Eddie would admit that he never perfected the instrument himself, he did learn enough to play and record a few songs with the Versatones. More importantly, he always made certain that the band included some of the very best concertina musicians available, placing them front and center of the band. Over the years, this included such great talent as Wally Medusha, Ronnie Pistecki, Jerry Darlak, and of course, Eddie Jr. Other talented musicians to play concertina with the Versatones included Chet Kawakowski, Junior Wozniak, Lenny Gomolka, Jim Szerzega, Ed Walensky, Al Piatkowski, and John Zalasko. Eddie Sr. was a powerful organizing force in the polka music world and received numerous honors for his work. I hope this honor of being in a World Concertina Congress can join those ranks. Tish, with that, here's a certificate for Eddie's Hall of Fame membership.
I am truly honored. I'm going to cry, so I'm not going to say a lot. With all respect to Ed, his heart and soul was all about music, and he loved all the instruments. Concertina, of course, most important to him. And for him to enjoy God-given talent that he had and to allow himself, as well as all the great musicians that he worked with, to continue the music, the love of his life, I was second. The love of his life was his music. And he created some great tunes and recorded great tunes, and God gave him a great voice. And so, of course, he shared that with all of you. I was home. So for all cities and states and countries and places where Eddie enjoyed performing, he did it for you. He did it for the love of the music, and he did love the music. So I'm honored that Eddie's deceased now, 12 years, and you're still recognizing his talents, and many wonderful bands are still playing his music. And all you wonderful people are still enjoying to dance and sing and talk about Ed and talk about stories and enjoy all the wonderful things that you shared with him. Eddie and Zip are definitely here in the presence of this room and on this mountain. Yeah. And they're enjoying the anniversary as much as you are, as much as we are. We say thank you so very much for sharing this anniversary with us. I say thank you to the World Congress for inducting my husband Ed in the Hall of Fame. Thank you.
So congratulations to all the inductees, and thank you, Ken, for a wonderful presentation. And don't forget, for anybody looking for real authentic concertina music. ConcertinaMusic.com has more than a lifetime of music for you to sit and enjoy the concertina and to learn some new stuff. So thank you again, Ken. Thank you to the World Concertina Congress. Give us a couple of minutes. We're going to reassemble the largest concertina jam east of the Mississippi.
Hey Troy, how are you?